Welcome to Raleigh-Egypt High School. I am the principal here, Bo Griffin, and we are proud to serve as the site for today's announcement regarding Shelby County Schools' 2015 academic performance. As a first-year principal, I began this job with asking Mr. Hopson why. Why are you sending me to Raleigh-Egypt? And we faced some serious challenges in my first couple of weeks. Day 4 of my tenure, unfortunately, I lost a good colleague and a friend in my arms who passed away in front of the children. And then the next week, we find out that the ASD may come in and take over. But with a collaboration effort with Principal Ronnie Mackin at the middle school, Ms. Deanna Pruitt at the elementary school, the students, staff, and especially the community, we made it very clear to everyone that we were not going to be taken over. We achieved outstanding success last year, including double-digit gains and overall TVAS level 5 growth. We went from a 1 to a 5. I'm extremely proud of our Raleigh-Egypt family, our district, and appreciative of Mr. Hopson for the opportunity to be here today. And now I'm going to turn it over to my boss, Mr. Hopson.
We're so proud of Mr. Griffin. Let me just first thank you all for coming up so we can share this very exciting news with you all. Want to recognize our board members. We have our chair here, Teresa Jones, Shantae Vance, Stephanie Love. I think this is Miss Love's district. So just very happy to have them here in support of this work. Really just want to share some of the highlights of the data with you all, but I hope that the headlines are the Shelby County Schools is making serious progress as it relates to student achievement. What we're about to share with you is going to show that of 10 tested subject areas, the Shelby County Schools made positive gains in 9 of those areas, the one exception being literacy. And you all know literacy is not just an area that the Shelby County Schools is finding challenging, but the state actually took a slight step back with that. So my Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Heidi Ramirez, is going to talk a little bit about some of the efforts that we are endeavoring in to improve our literacy scores. But in addition to the 9 of the 10 categories showing improvement, we're also a level 5 TVAS district. And what that means essentially is you can be from level 1 to level 5 as it relates to TVAS. And TVAS, what that does is it measures how much growth a student gains over a year. So for context, if you're level 3, you're essentially getting 1 year's worth of growth for your students. Well, when you have as many students as we have, and they start from so far behind, we need more than level 3. We got to get more than a year of growth to catch these students up. And so we're level 5 district really for the 4th year in a row. And I think that certainly is a direct result of the hard work that our students have demonstrated. Our teachers are knocking it out of the park, and our school leaders like Dr. Griffin are showing every single day that if you believe in students, believe they can achieve in high levels, support them in the way that they need to be supported, you'll get positive results. Now, we're not going to beat our chest here and brag on ourselves, because despite the very good progress we're making, we have a very long way to go. And I want to jump into some of the data with you. So just a recap, our board adopted a very ambitious but attainable set of goals earlier this year. We want, by 2025, we want 80% of our students to be college or career ready. We want 90% of our students to graduate on time, and 100% of those students who graduate, we want to enroll in a post-secondary opportunity. And what we know is where we are right now, we've got a long way to go over the next 9 years, but we've got to make positive and consistent and larger incremental gains than we're making, but we're certainly on the right track. Here's an overview, and it just speaks to what I just said. SCS remains a level 5 TVAS district, and I hope that, as people pick apart data and pick headlines and pick stories about the data, that does not go unnoticed, and there needs to be some real discussion about that, because that goes to the heart and soul of the hard work that our teachers and school leaders are doing every day. They're going into classrooms, they're moving students further, or they're getting more than a year of instruction out of our students. I think we have great faculty members who are actually in the building right now who are on Bo Griffin's team, and I want to just thank them for for the hard work that they do every single day. Again, we improved in 9 out of 10 subjects. And you know I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician, but most places when you have 9 out of 10, that's pretty good. So we're very proud of the accomplishments there. Again, the gains, some outpace others. We know, though, we have to accelerate the pace of those gains, but did want to flag that. The third one we want to point out is that, you know, we outpaced or equaled the state scores in terms of improvements in 7 of the 10 tested areas, which we thought was very worth mentioning. And in the last one, 2/3 of all Shelby County schools improved upon their academic performance from the year before. And again, that goes straight to the heart of the hard work our teachers and school leaders are doing. The next one. This just provides a visual of those 9 different areas. Again, we flag reading, language, arts, and it's no secret that this is an area that students across the country are struggling with. You know, if you think about our strategic plan that the board adopted, priority 1 is to strengthen early literacy, and the numbers bear out that we certainly have a mandate around that. And again, Dr. Ramirez will talk briefly about some of the efforts that we're making to address that. And you look at the continuum, you know, I think when you point out Algebra 2 and 3rd through 8th grade math, those 5 and 8 point gains, we need to be doing that consistently across the board for the next 9 years to meet our goals. I think when you see that our students are capable of doing that and have continued to do that over the past few years, we know that given the right support, our students can do anything, particularly with the great teachers we have in our classrooms. Next one. This chart simply shows how we measure up versus the state. And as you can see, in 7 of these categories, we outpaced the state in terms of gains, and we're very, very, very proud of it. I think if you think about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago when the state released their data, they were very excited about the gains statewide, and understandably so. So when you think about that and think about that good news, and then you say the Shelby County Schools outpaced them in 7 of those 10 areas, again, it just speaks to the hard work of our students, our teachers, and our principals. This is some of the major accomplishments. I won't belabor it because we talked about it. Again, we remain level 5. One area that I really want to highlight here is that 12 of our priority schools achieve a TVOS level 4, level 5. And I think it's so important just to pause here. Raleigh-Egypt High School is really a proof point of what happens when the community rallies around a school and teachers dig in and school leaders dig in. Because if you recall, as Mr. Griffin said, a few weeks after he took over, the ASD really was focused on operating Raleigh-Egypt High School this year. And I'll call out Raleigh-Egypt, I'll call out A. Maceo Walker, I'll call out American Way Middle School, and I'll call out LaRose Elementary School. Those were 4 of the schools where the community pushed back the hardest. And in each of those schools, because the school leaders work and teachers work, all those schools achieve a level 4 or 5 TVOS. And what happens now with the way that the statute reads, if you're a level 4 or a level 5, then the state cannot take you over next year. So, you know, the fact that when communities come together and teachers are focused like never before and school leaders are driving like never before, and we provide the right supports, I think you see what happens out there. I also think it shows that the Shelby County Schools, particularly when we have community support, can do turnaround work as good as or better than anybody else in the country. Here's some of our standouts. What I want to do now is turn over to Dr. Ramirez and just to talk about, she probably has a few more standouts, but so many schools across our district did well, particularly when you're talking about 2/3 of the schools improving their academic performance. So I want to hand it off to her, and then she also kind of talk about some of the hard work ahead. Then I want to give my board members an opportunity to comment on this good news, and then we'll open it up for questions.
This is particularly exciting for me, and I have to be careful. I'm not a native Memphian, so I'm not humble at all about the good work we've got going on. Just to add, I think, to how Mr. Griffin opened us up about the great work here at Raleigh-Egypt High School, it's worth calling out, you know, here on this campus, you also have Egypt Elementary School that over the last 2 years has increased its percent proficient by 10 points or more in each of math, reading, language arts, and science. Likewise, here at Raleigh-Egypt Middle School, over the last year, we saw an 8-point percentage increase in percent proficient in math. I think you're seeing, whether it's in a particular community or across the district as a whole, when folks come together, we make great things happen. So we've got a sample here of some particularly high standouts, but I'd also like to do some shout-outs, if I can, for reading ELA grades 3 to 8. In particular, we have a set of schools that had more than 5 percentage point increase in proficiency. And we talk about the need for us to do more work in literacy. That's absolutely true. The gains that we have seen in math or the literacy progress in general, while it's on pace with the state, we know, given where our students begin, we have to accelerate that work. And we've got some great examples of that here. From schools like Ida B. Wells, who've increased their percent proficient in reading more than 5 points, to schools like Cherokee Elementary, more than 6 points this year, Idlewild, more than 6 points, Downtown Elementary, 7.6 points, White Station Elementary, almost 13 points, Levi, almost 15 points. We have a lot of schools that are on the move. Similarly at high school, and I'm not naming all of them, certainly, schools like Melrose, Douglas, Ridgeway High, Carver, all with between 8 and 12 percentage point increases there just on English 1. I think another important factor here is that as the data show us in general, we're seeing success across content areas for the most part, with the exception of some of the ELA grade levels. But the big story here, of course, is that that rolls into an overall successful experience for our students, including success rates that have increased by more than 10 percentage points at schools like Highland Oaks, Rains Haven, Middle College, Downtown, Knight Road, Garden View, Levi, White Station, Springdale, Cherokee. More than 10 percentage point increases, and in some cases almost 20 percentage points in their success rates. I know I'm supposed to stop now, but I can't help myself. I think, the big story here is, again, good work going on, the growth in TVAS as well as percent proficient. So we're not just moving the bottom, but we're actually putting all of our students on a better path to career and college readiness. On the literacy front, we absolutely know the data are yet another sign we have a clear mandate to do more. Many of you have heard me speak about the Comprehensive Literacy Improvement Plan. We began to lay out that vision in January, started doing a lot of professional development and visioning work with our school staff in the spring. And our goal at that point was to help folks get very clear district-wide about a common set of expectations, from instructional minutes to the instructional design and practices inside of classrooms. We said we had to work really hard in the spring to create an appetite for this work, for people to understand the shifts we were expecting of them. I will say I'm very proud that the time period last year, May to July, we had about 4,500 registrants in voluntary professional development. That same time period this year, it's well over 8,500. People are stepping up. Our teachers, our coaches, our principals who already work incredibly hard are now getting on board with the literacy work and feel very confident that we're going to come on strong this school year. And in fact, we've been doing lots of training with them just in the last couple of days as well. So I'm very proud of the work. We will continue to be aggressive, continue to improve on the work, and certainly continue to engage our community wherever we can. This is not work we can do alone. And on that front, I'm very pleased to turn it over to our board members who really position us to be as successful as we have been, and as I know we will be going forward.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As the board chair, that's our goal. Every vote we take is with the expectation and the hope that we are supporting the superintendent, we're supporting principals, we're supporting teachers, and sometimes the choices are difficult ones, but when I stand here and I look at the data, it speaks for itself, and I'm empowered and I'm encouraged that we are moving in the right direction. I've always felt that given the chance that Shelby County Schools could do the work, we stand up against anyone in terms of our ability to work, engage the community, and perform. And I think the data here shows that today. As a board member, we're not in the trenches every day. The principal, I'll pick this up. The principal and the staff are the ones in the trenches every day doing the day-to-day work. My job, and I hope I speak for fellow board members, I do support the work that they do, evaluate the recommendations, but hopefully vote for as many of those as we can to make sure that this school, along with all the other schools in the district, have what they need to achieve. And that's what we all want. That's what I want as a board member. That's my commitment. That's why we do the work we do. So I stand here today as the board chair, proud of Raleigh-Egypt High, proud of all the other schools who've done the work, who've been in the trenches, who've shown, given the chance, I can stand up to any of the other schools in this district and other districts and come out on top. That's what they've done. I'm proud of them. As a school board member, I take some credit for that, but I'll do credit to the principal, to the staff, and to the parents and the students who really did the work. So thank you. I'm smiling because I am proud. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Shantae Avan, and as a school board member, I just want to say how proud I am for this school and all of the schools within the district who have had gains. I really hope that one of the headlines for Shelby County Schools making these type of gains is that it really is a win for our city. When our students succeed, it means that our community succeeds. And so I want to commend Mr. Bo Griffin and the accomplishments of his students, his staff, and I really want to commend the parents of this community who have rallied around his leadership, the leadership of his staff, to support them to this success. We know that it is a very coordinated effort for us to see the type of gains that we've had for our students, for our district, and for our community. And so we encourage our community partners to come along, join us as we continue this ride towards 2025 for our students to continue to be successful. We appreciate the support we have been given thus far, but we really want to see, as the superintendent said, us to achieve the goals we've set forth for our students. We have very high expectations for them, but it will take the entire community moving us forward to do this. So thank you again for all of the hard work that our staff has put in for this year.
Good afternoon. I am Stephanie Love, a board member as well, and I have the honor of representing Raleigh-Egypt High School. Coach Griffin, I still call him Coach Griffin, he was actually my 9th grade teacher in high school.
Don't ask
So-
any questions.
So to be able to first start off as a student and to now work with him to making sure that he improves the educational life of our children, that goes beyond words. I just want to, let you know and your staff how proud I am of you guys. I was at this school often. Sometimes I would speak to the principal weekly, sometimes 3 times a day. But I always let him know that whatever he needed, whatever I could do, I would be there. And I also encourage the parents. And when we speak about a success in the school, the teachers do an awesome job. But when we have parents who have given up on their children's education, when we have children who decide they don't want to come to school because they believe nobody believes in them, and then they begin to come to school, the graduation rate went up. And as we can see, the success rate of the school went up. So I just want to congratulate the staff, the parents, and most importantly, the children. Because I spoke to 4 children that attend Raleigh-Egypt High at 10 o'clock this morning when the news came out. And these were 4 black males. And what they told me was he believed in us. And we believed him when he said that he believed in us. They told me that is why they did what others thought they couldn't do. So we need to model him. I mean, we really need to clone him. But in closing, we can do the work. And that's the bottom line. The work can be done. It has to be accomplished differently in the schools because every school is not the same. But Raleigh-Egypt and the other schools have proved that the work can be done. And, I was just continue to encourage our board members and the superintendent to we're already behind them, but let's really, really get more, if that's the correct word, behind our schools, and let's get all these schools off the priority list. So that's our goal for next year. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Dr. Ramirez, board members. And please don't ask Ms. Love any questions. Seriously. Please don't. Opening up to questions now. Anyone? Or you want to walk the classrooms now? Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. And if anyone would like to follow me, I'll show you the improvements that have been made thanks to Dr. Ramirez and the paint, and teachers are in their room. So thank y'all for being here again today. And if y'all want to follow me, we'll go to the classrooms. Thanks.